So, Sandy, we're here at Real Talk again, and I am so sick of you putting me on the spot that today I am turning the
Oh, I'm
table.
nervous now. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Turn.
So,
You get to pick.
yes, exactly. So, as our kids get older and they get more involved in activities at school or after school, it's easy for us as parents to say yes, yes, yes. And all of a sudden, we are overwhelmed in this tizzy of trying to be at 10 different places. We're on the PTA, we're on this committee, we're helping out with soccer, we're helping do this. And it's like we cannot parent effectively in that state. And I know you have talked me off the ledge so many times and helped me not create a mess all over the place. So I know you have tons of strategies and insight into one, how we get in this mess in the first place, and two, how to untangle ourselves. So go.
Okay. So yes. And I'm laughing because when I speak to groups of women, their very favorite piece of any talk I do is this. And it is what you were talking about here. And that is that we're over involved because we say yes to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talk about the word no, and you will not possibly give me enough time to actually do that whole thing here. So what I want to do is, first of all, say, this is our own responsibility and our own fault. And I'm not doing that to poke at us or point fingers. I'm doing that to give us the opportunity and the power to be able to fix it. If we don't accept that we created this mess, then we don't have the power to fix it.
Oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way, because it's real easy hindsight to go, oh yeah, I said yes, 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 and created the mess. But when I'm in it, I'm just trying to do right by my kids.
Yeah.
And it's really hard when they have a need, a group has a need that's going to impact my kids and help them, for me to say no.
So here's what we're going to do, Judy. We're going to actually go to more of that coaching realm. So we're going to talk about a scenario here that you just brought up is, I'm saying yes to be a better parent, to help my kids.
Right.
So what I need you to do is go, okay, pick something you just volunteered for.
Being the soccer mom. Let's just say that when my kids were young, I volunteered to be a soccer mom.
Okay, so you had to make food and
coordinate who's bringing snacks, coordinate who's bringing the mid-roll or the mid-game, during the game break, whatever it's called.
Right.
Whoever's bringing the treat for that and the treat afterwards, and who's helping with fundraising, and who's helping us get from point A to point B, coordinating all of that. It's a full-time job. Yeah. Volunteering became a full-time job.
Yeah. I think probably other moms, I know at one point when I was a stay-at-home mom, my husband just looked at me and said, if you're going to volunteer that much, you maybe want to think about getting a job.
Exactly.
But that's what happens. Yeah. And so your intention was, I am volunteering because this helps my kid be able to play soccer.
Because no one else was stepping up.
That was it. Yes. And that's what I thought was going to come up.
Yep.
So this is one of the most common reasons that people volunteer for things. Nobody else was stepping up. So the things that I remind us of are, one, just because no one else steps up doesn't mean you're the best person to do the job. And it doesn't mean you're the right person to do the job. And sometimes people won't step up in the moment. They need time to go home. They need time to think about it. They need time to let it soak in, to process. Judy, you think fast.
I do.
So you're sitting there when someone asks for a volunteer and you're running through all these scenarios and you've already realized what happens if somebody doesn't step up and do it and gone through all those things. Someone else hasn't gotten there yet. Or someone else is thinking, wow, that could be kind of cool, but I don't know if I could do it. Maybe they don't have the courage to step up at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, sometimes when you step into that spot that you don't want, that in your gut you should not be doing, you're actually stealing it from someone else.
It's interesting that you say it that way because, I don't know a parent out there that doesn't already have a full plate. We all are carrying 2 plates full over, things are falling off and we're trying to balance all the, balls in the air. And it's real easy to add one more. And there's something that you taught me a long time ago is a rule that I now share all over is I can't say yes until I let something else go.
Yes.
Because we're busy. Why is that so critical? Because I want our listeners to get that concept because it has freed me from combustion so many times. Why is it so important that we have to trade off before saying yes to anything else?
Okay, so it's easier to understand this in terms of our home. So just to pick one room in the house. Let's go into the kitchen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every cupboard is probably full. In fact, very likely full to bursting, right? And maybe you're a person who keeps things on the counter too. And you see a new gadget. You see the Instant Pot. That was the big thing this Christmas, right? Instant Pot. So you see Instant Pot and go, oh, wow, that would be so cool. But you literally have no place to put it. I mean, if you get it, you're going to have to set it right next to the sink where you're supposed to put the dirty dishes to clean them off. When you get that and you put that there, instead of helping you, it's actually making your life even more difficult and it's hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
So there comes a point where literally physically in your kitchen or in your house, wherever, you would have to say, before we can bring in something new, we have to get rid of something. And that makes sense. They go, well, I got an Instant Pot so I can get rid of the crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use this instead. Our time is the same way. It can only be so full. And if you don't look at it and say, okay, before I add soccer mom to this, I'm going to let go of this, or in this case, because it was such a big job, I need to let go of this and this and this. What happens to you if you don't make that conscious choice now is every single day, you will have to make 100 other choices about how to spend your time. Since you cannot physically fit all the things you need to do into your day, you're constantly, as you go from one thing to the next, deciding, and you don't even know you're doing it, but you're deciding, am I going to get the laundry or am I going to make that phone call? Am I going to, stop at the grocery store after I get the kids, or do I need to come home and prep the stuff for the soccer practice? And you're going to be making tons and tons of painful choices because you don't have enough time to do everything. And then at the end of the day, something has to give. So either the things that you chose not to do just fall off the plate and don't get done, or you don't sleep.
Gosh, and
we can do a whole show on sleep. But it's really what it comes down to is you can make 100 painful decisions, or you can make one what feels more painful in the moment decision, but then be done.
So what I'm hearing you say is, extrapolating from all that you've talked about, it's like when you're in somewhere and they're looking for help, be self-disciplined enough not to say yes immediately, to take it back and evaluate it, and then look at it in a holistic way as opposed to just that specific thing. You got to look at your whole thing.
Yes. And I know, we're covering a lot today, and Judy, you've done a lot of coaching with me, stress relief and anxiety relief. And we've gone through a lot of tools, but those are some key pieces. Is take a moment. And if anyone asks you to do anything, a simple way to do that is just say, let me check my schedule and talk to some people and think about it, and I will get back with you. And that's always your answer. I don't care how much you want to do it. You still got to go and look at your life and your schedule and talk to, other people who help take care of your kids or whatever. So yes,
exactly.
Thank you for asking. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you.
Right. Well, I know we have so much more to dive in on this general topic.
But you're going to stop.
I'm going to put you on your little in the spotlight later. But today we're going to have to cut it off there. And I just want to thank our listeners for joining us and remind you to, well, actually, I'm going to let Sandy
talk let me do this. All right. So
the ending because
thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget, we have a little free gift for you at mightyparentingpodcast.com. When you ask for emails to be notified about new shows, you not only get notified about new shows so you don't miss something that you really want to hear, you also get a nice little gift from us, little inspiration for your parenting journey. And come on over to the Facebook group. We are in there. We are chatting. We are asking questions and answering questions and sharing things. And we need your input. We need to know what worked for you, as well as knowing what your questions are. Other parents are looking for the answers that you have. So come on over there and join us and join the other parents and come back next week for Mighty Parenting Podcast. Until then,
have a great day.